Just before starting my new job, I wanted to go on a trip. Originally, I was going to go on a road trip, but that didn't work out. I couldn't find a truck. I was going to buy a truck before. So I started looking for cheap flights, and I decided, why not go to Costa Rica? I found a cheap flight. The morning I left, it was pouring down rain. This here is my 1 week solo trip in Costa Rica. I hope you guys enjoy. As you can see, it's pouring down rain on my way to the airport. Luckily, my sister was nice enough to take me, but eventually I did make it to the airport, and I got inside super early in the morning and was able to get going. There is my flight. I flew into Fort Lauderdale first, and then from Fort Lauderdale, I flew into San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm so tired right now. Slept like 2 hours and 45 minutes last night, and did not sleep enough either the last 2 nights before that, but I made it to the airport, which is good, through security, and now I need to just close my eyes. Unfortunately, my troubles would not stop. My first flight got delayed multiple times because of weather, they said, but who knows with Spirit Airlines. Luckily, there was a beautiful view from the window. So this has been a full day. As you can probably tell from the title of the video, I'm on my way to Costa Rica, and I should be in Costa Rica right now. Actually, I should have been there like 3 hours ago, but I'm not. I'm in Fort Lauderdale Airport in Florida, and it's just been a struggle all day. I flew Spirit, terrible experience. At first, the flight was delayed due to weather, but then they're saying it was weather, but there was other planes taking off, and we just kept getting delayed and delayed. Now I will not be there until after midnight tonight, when I was supposed to be there around noon. So I have a long layover here in Fort Lauderdale. I've had a ton of terrible interactions with airport employees today. No one has been helpful. That said though, I'm not gonna let it ruin our trip. We're doing a solo send in Costa Rica, and right now we're gonna try to get into an airport lounge, which the first time I went up, they told me that their machine wasn't working. Hopefully it's working now. We can salvage some of this day, and we're still not gonna let it ruin our Pura Vida mood for Costa Rica. So I made it into the airport lounge, finally. I'm starving. All I've eaten today is some gummy worms. Let's get some food and a drink. I snagged some food from the airport lounge. I figured it would be cheaper to go to the lounge than spend money on airport food. I think it was around $50 to get in, but I actually got in for free because their system wasn't working. I got super lucky, and they were nice enough to let me in. Then it was on to the flight to Costa Rica, trying to do a little nappy nap. Making it to San Jose, it was super late. I think it was past midnight when I got there. Holy cow, we finally made it to Costa Rica after leaving at 3 a.m. this morning. Alright, I've got my passport checked. I'm through immigration. I'm here for 7 days, and I finally made it to Costa Rica. I left at 7 a.m. this morning, 3 a.m. this morning, not 7, 3 Eastern time, and now I'm here at, I think it's 1:41 back home at this point, so very late. So what is your exchange rate?
$1 is 453 colones, $1.
No. Nope. Okay, so we just made it. I got 9,000 colones, which is their money. For actually just got $20 worth of money. I kind of got gypped over on the exchange rate, but that's how it works at airports. you get charged a high fee, but we made it, and now I gotta find an Uber. All right, I just called an Uber. One quick tip: if you're ever abroad and there's gonna be taxis as soon as you get out of the international immigration thing. There's gonna be people asking you for taxis. Skip all those people. Check the Uber prices first, and then check Uber if they're cheap. Go with that. Sometimes taxis are cheap, but usually the people right as soon as you get out of immigration, they're gonna be the most expensive. So wait till you get out. You can barter with someone if you need to, but in Costa Rica, it's going to be pretty cheap for your first ride. And on Uber, it tells you exactly how much it's going to be. They're not going to try to charge you more, so it's usually a safe bet for your first ride. Carlos. Hola. Gracias.
No hablo inglés, no hablo español.
So as you can see here, I don't speak Spanish too well, but I wanted to get some late night grub. Luckily, they understood I wanted some empanadas.
Sí. Carne. Dos.
Okay, so we've made it to Costa Rica, and I'm at a restaurant now. I paid my Uber driver to stop here at this restaurant, and no one speaks English, so I tried to order in Spanish. I think it worked. I got 2 meat empanadas, and hopefully this works. I want to eat these and get to bed because I'm very tired.
So that night I got to my hostel, everyone was sleeping, so I couldn't film, and I went straight to bed. Here's the room where I stayed last night, and I'll be staying for the next couple of days. I stayed in the top bunk up here, which is nice. Got my phone charging. Nice little room. We got lockers here. I locked up my stuff, but I gotta get stuff to shower and get the day going. Right, y'all, I think I'm ready to go. I just showered up. First things first, we gotta go find an ATM because I'm out of Costa Rican money, so we gotta go do that. And then let's find some breakfast.
All right, I'm walking the Costa Rican streets now. The street that my hostel is not the most glamorous looking street, but there's supposed to be like a really nice neighborhood basically around this area. That's why I stayed here. I think it's called Escalante is the neighborhood. But now we're gonna go find a ATM and then get some breakfast. I also forgot a belt, which is nice. Need to find one of those probably.
After getting some money, I went and got an awesome little fruit and yogurt breakfast at this really cool cafe. Everyone was super nice there. Luckily, the workers spoke English, and it was really good. And this thing was a delicious pastry they recommended.
Just had breakfast. You guys could see there that fruit and yogurt bowl, which was really good. There was actually 2 fruits in there I don't think I've ever had before. One was star fruit, which I've seen but never had, and the other one was called golden berry, which I've never seen and never had. Both of them were very good. And I also had a pastry, no idea what was in it, but it was really good as well. Now let's go see what we can find in the city. You can see some huge palm trees here and behind me. There's like an old church looking building, some cool architecture here in downtown. And we're headed to the National Museum right now. And we're gonna check out this little street market as well. So that church I was just talking about, I just came to the front and they're actually having a service. It's a beautiful church. I'm gonna be very quiet and take a little video for y'all.
So next I just walked around the city and explored. You can see the beautiful mountains in the background, and there was a lot of pretty sights in this city.
Alright, I'm in the downtown San Jose area right now, and it is absolutely popping. There's 2 million people that live in San Jose, and I think all 2 million of them are on this street. There's people yelling everywhere and trying to sell you things, like in any South American big city. It reminds me of Brazil, but pretty cool looking around and stuff, and I'm gonna keep walking. Okay, I've yet to go to the National Museum yet, but I stopped to get some food. I found this restaurant that had really good ratings. I got a Vietnamese bowl, which they're known for, with chicken on it. And there's a bunch of sauces over here. This is the one that I recommended to put on it, so I'm gonna put that on. Get some of this grub in my belly. At the National Museum, there was like a flock of hundreds of school kids there, so I couldn't get in yet, but I'm hoping when I go back, it'll be more open. And today's just kind of a day to figure out what's going on, get some food here in the capital, and then we're gonna travel to some more like Costa Rica style locations, some volcanoes, maybe the beach, we'll see. We got one bite, everyone knows the rules. One. That chicken is really good. It's down at the bottom, you can't really see it, but it's in there. Really good.
Next, I came to the National Museum.
So I just made it into the National Museum of Costa Rica, and they actually have a really cool butterfly garden right when you come in. There's butterflies everywhere. Super cool. Flying all around your head, dodging them.
Next, they had this exhibit with just all these really cool pictures of Costa Rican history. I particularly liked the ones of the Costa Ricans with the guns. There were some really cool pictures. I do not think you wanted to mess with those guys back then.
So this thing here on each side has decapitated bodies, and then all around it are these heads. Maybe this thing was used to decapitate people, who knows? Pretty spooky, but a bunch of cool sculptures in this room. So this thing here was an instrument that they would trap people in when they were arrested or something and immobilize them. The Spaniards would do that in Costa Rica, I guess. Looks pretty awful. Okay, I'm experiencing my first rain here in Costa Rica. Pretty sure it rains about every day when I look at the weather. I'm in the rainy season right now, but it's supposed to be the most beautiful season because everything's green. But there is a little bit of rain every day. All right, check this out. I just saw this Toyota up this street, so I had to come check it out. If that thing is not an adventure car, I don't know what is.
So I had dinner that night, and then I woke up super early the next morning and got an Uber to the bus station at 5 a.m. I planned to go to the Caribbean coastal town of Puerto Viejo by recommendation of somebody in my hostel. I met this really nice German kid behind me, and we got tickets. We showed up an hour early to get our bus tickets, but we still both only got standing room only tickets and had to sit in the handicap area on the bus for a 5-hour ride to Puerto Viejo. But it was beautiful outside, so no complaints on the views.
Well, we're a little over halfway into our bus ride, and we stopped in Limon, going to Puerto Viejo, and so we just stopped here. Some people are getting off, but I stopped and got an empanada, and I'm just chilling out. A little more of a bus ride to go. They only had standing room only, so sitting on the ground and standing the whole way there. Me and this other German kid got there an hour early and still couldn't get a ticket.
Once we got there, it was worth it because the views were beautiful, and we went and got food. It was already much better vibes than San Jose. I was walking back to find my Airbnb, and there was a huge parade going on downtown. It was like a huge weekend for the city, and it was just coincidence that I got there on the day they were having this massive parade. What a great time to be there.
Alright, so I just got out of this crazy parade that's going on here. I met this kid from Germany who was super nice on the bus. We got to Puerto Viejo, stopped and got lunch, and then I'm walking to my Airbnb and we're stopped by a huge parade on the way there. So it's pretty cool. A huge festival is going on right when I got here, and I still haven't made it to my Airbnb yet, but it's been pretty cool. Okay, so I made it to my room. I am seriously sweating here. I was out just sitting on the street watching this parade go by. I got a really nice little room here. Fan up there. I have to change, probably take a shower eventually, but put my swimsuit on and get back down where the action's at and check out the city. Alright, so I wanted to show y'all something real quick. I think this is pretty cool. So in a lot of countries outside the US, the size of their money is in relation to how much it's worth. So for example, like this 10,000 is bigger than say like the 2,000 or the 5,000. So you can see it's just, if you put it on top of it, 2,000's a little bit smaller. And I also think their money just looks super cool. Like that looks a lot cooler than US dollars. Very colorful. Lots of cool art and stuff. There's a sloth on that one. There's a shark on that one. Like that looks sweet.
That night I headed out to check out the town and met back up with my German friend and a couple other people from Germany and one from the US. It poured down rain, as you can see. Alright, it's a new day here, and today we're going to a nearby national park, which is, hold on, gotta find the name. So we're going to Cayuta National Park, which is over here on the Caribbean side of the Costa Rica. That's where we're at right now, on the Caribbean side. And I'm super excited, but first I'm gonna go get some breakfast, and then we have a little guided tour going in the national park. So I really like this town of Puerto Viejo way more than I liked San Jose. It feels way safer here. Not that it felt dangerous in San Jose, but here I just feel like I could just walk around, money out, do anything. It's got like a really cool Caribbean feel to it. There's like reggae music playing all the time. And there's seems like there's a big like outdoors vibe. A lot of people going hiking and stuff. I think there's a soccer game back there. But there was a festival yesterday. Cool colors and just very cool Caribbean vibe, what you'd expect from a Caribbean beach town. So I actually extended my stay here for 2 more days, and the host just let me pay him in cash. I didn't even have to do it on Airbnb. I'll tell you, sometimes travel can be a ton of fun, but sometimes it can be super frustrating too. I had booked on Airbnb a tour of Cayuta National Park today. It's only about 20 minutes or so away, and about 30 minutes before I was looking for an Uber, couldn't get one. I kept trying. There was none available. I tried to get a tuk-tuk or to take me. Couldn't find one, couldn't find a taxi. Finally, I found someone to help me that spoke English, and I guess there's like a police set up on the way there. So these like tuk-tuks and stuff, usually they'll take you, but since they're not like, I don't know, fully legal or like official taxis that are allowed to take you there, they didn't want to take anyone. That's the reason I couldn't find one. And the next bus is not until 12:20. I messaged the lady to see if I could get a later time or tomorrow. She said no. Super frustrating. I'm honestly, I'm gonna be out like $60 on that. It's really annoying. But we're still going. I'm gonna take the bus there and then get a bus back. Close at 3, so I'll have a couple hours to at least look around. Hopefully I can see a sloth, but sometimes travel is not super smooth, and right now I just kind of want to scream, but here we are waiting for the bus on the beach. Right after that, I headed to the national park, and the trip actually really picked up at this point. The second half of my trip was the most fun half of my trip, but to see that, you're going to have to tune in to part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. Get out, live adventure style, and we'll see you very soon for another episode of E. Krieg's Outdoors. Tune in for part 2.